Hello lads, lovelies, and everyone in between. Welcome back to JameJame's VR. I've missed you guys. I've been so busy lately I haven't been able to get anything done. It's been awful. Yeah, but I'm back now. So yeah, interesting times we live in. I don't know if I've ever really explicitly mentioned what I do for a living. I certainly don't make my money making VR videos, that's for sure. But I work in freight. And if you've been paying attention to the news at all, you know that freight is uh, an interesting career to be in right now. I guess that's all I can say about that. Yeah, I used to drive a semi-truck. I used to be a Canada-US cross-border semi-driver. And these days, I work in the company yard. So I still drive a truck. I drive a shunt truck. It's a little bit different, but I work with trucks trucking freight 12 hours a shift in the middle of the night. And I'll say that this has greatly affected my job with the whole convoy thing going on and there being a massive shortage of truck drivers. And it's just made my job hell. Oh, my friends like, geez, this job is a very good job in the best of times, but holy crap, this is awful. Oh well, at least the pay sucks and it's cold out. What do you do, right? But that's part of the reason why I've been so, I haven't produced content regularly like I normally do. It's just been terrible. That, and there hasn't been anything super jumping out at me that I immediately had to, right? I mean, I was also sick for a couple of days too. That didn't help. And regular life stuff that I'd been putting off, I had to go do. It just, you know how time flies when, shit's going on. Things pile up and then suddenly you don't have time to do it all anymore. So you have to just crank it out at the last moment. That's what I did. That's the JameJame style. Sure as fuck is. Yeah, it's fun. But things are better now. They've been banged into shape. Work is still a dumpster fire, and that's going to stay a dumpster fire for a long time, I'm sure. Right? So yeah, my life sucks right now. Oh well, yeah. So I mean, there was things that happened that I did want to comment on. Hitman 3 VR on Steam, and it sucked, right? I think that Hitman 3 looks like a pretty decent game. It's just that the VR port was clearly just a port of the PlayStation VR experience and totally not suitable for PC VR. It didn't have the controls right, the graphics are fucked. They just got so many things wrong. So hopefully, the hype and fuss about Sony's AAA games coming out and how it's going to change everything is done a lot fucking better than this. Because this was a lazy shit show. For me, and the thing is, it's full price game. A year old, still asking 80 Canadian bucks for. I kind of feel like, you know what? Get fucked. Nope. Maybe if it ever goes on a really big sale, I might check it out. But I'm not feeling it. So, that's a bummer. I really did want to actually have a good VR experience out of that, but that's just not going to happen. Yeah, very unlikely. I don't know. Maybe something will change. Maybe a modding community will fix things up. I don't know. But unless that happens, mm. But more recently, other cool things have happened. Stuff that actually is interesting. That's a nice change. Yeah. Specifically, we've got Wanderer. That looks good. I've heard very good things about that. I'm probably going to check that out. Yeah, I haven't picked it up yet. We'll see. I think probably though. I hear such good things. I think it probably deserves a review on JameJame's VR. Yeah. Then of course, Zenith. So Zenith. Oh wow, okay. that's a landmark or maybe I should say a milestone in a lot of ways, isn't it? Because there's a actual VR MMO, and from most accounts, I hear it's pretty good. A bummer I've heard right off the bat, though, is it is one of those games that suffers from that tired, old Unity bug that brainless developers can't seem to fucking fix, even though it's a one-line fix. It's trivial to fix. It takes less than a minute to fix it, but still they just won't fucking do it. I don't know why. So if I do get Zenith, it's going to start with me shouting at the developers and ripping on them. That's always a lot of fun for me to do because fuck, I shouldn't have to do your thinking for you. You're the game developer. You should develop your games correctly. I shouldn't have to be tearing strips off you for obvious fucking shit. Yet sometimes I have to. And you know what? Sometimes these issues do get fixed. I take credit for all that when that happens. Like with Beanstalker getting the turning while climbing fix. I'm no other people complained, but I think it was my complaint that made the difference, and you can't prove me wrong. And if they say I wasn't me, I don't believe them. I think my scathing shouting at them intimidated them to the point that they caved and fixed it. And I'm sticking with that. All right. So I will be going on a campaign with that game to get them to fix that fucking bug because it's stupid and I just don't understand how that slips by these days. It also affects the Reverb G2, a very popular, very good headset. So fucking fix it, idiots. Shit. How do you release the game? I just don't understand that. But nonetheless, it is still perfectly playable. I just have to turn on parallel projection, which is a real irritant because it's about a 30% FPS hit. On the other hand, I have a 3080 Ti, and that game's graphics are questy. I realize that the PC version has better graphics than the Quest version, but the graphics are still clearly made with Quest in mind. Do not try to fool me, okay? So, if the graphics are unimpressive, you have the Quest users to blame. Thanks, guys. Thanks for making graphics bad. We all appreciate that. We all appreciate that you went and supported Meta and Facebook and helped bring the graphics of VR down. Thanks. Does a good job. You should have just hooked your VR headsets up to your PCs. Instead, you went and you gave all your money to Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. He needed your money more than you did, I guess. I get it. I'm just ripping on you. I do. I understand that a 3080 Ti is an asinine thing to own in this day and age. I'm aware. That's why I still have this terrible job in long hours and I eat ramen noodles. It's so I could have a 3080 Ti. I know. And I understand that you're not willing to do that because only an insane person would do that. But I am an insane person. Okay. Enough Jamie. She's too weird. Alright. So I do really want to take a look at Zenith. I know there's complaints, and I have a feeling that a lot of my complaints about Zenith are going to be the same complaints that other people had. And this is the sort of things that go wrong in MMOs in general, and the things I like about MMOs, the social aspect and that sort of thing, seem to be quite present in this game and look good. And I think the cooking stuff looks fun, and I like that they did include stuff for you to do outside of farm bad guys or loot, and I like that. However, I do find MMOs extremely grindy, and I'm not the sort of person who really enjoys too much grind. Yeah, especially when I'm like, in a lot of like PC MMOs, you can sort of just automate a lot of that. You're like a programmable keyboard, just make some macros, you'll be all right. But you can't do that in VR. You actually have to do the work. In which case, well, listen, fella, I've already got a job. I don't want to go into VR and then get back to work. God, I'm surprised they don't just have me shunting trailers in my downtime. No fucking thank you. Yeah, I do not own Truck Simulator. Nope. I've done the real thing. It stunk. Anyway, so Zenith I'm probably gonna buy because looks like there's enough stuff in there I would really like. But MMOs are always so grindy. right? And they just have to be by the nature of what they are. So, but it probably does need a JameJame review because I'm a little meaner when I review games than a lot of people are. And I think that that game deserves to have probably some mean stuff said about it. It's doing very well, and I think it deserves to be doing very well. But at the same time, reviewers are often way too charitable about the sort of things that games get wrong. I think the same might apply to Wanderer. We'll see. If there's shit that pisses me off in it, I'll make sure to share with you that things that are wrong. That was a very dyslexic sentence. But anyway, yes. So that's probably going to happen. Probably not this set of days off. Maybe on the weekend. We'll see. But I've also got something cool. Probably on the weekend. It hasn't arrived yet. But I've got the Pimax Eye Tracking module in the mail. And this is interesting because I'm going to review this thing. I'm going to quickly verify that it works. And then I'm going to put on the third-party firmware for it. Because the Pimax Eye Tracking module is known not to be exceptionally good. However, there's third-party firmware you can get from some insane developer on some not hidden, but the open MRI, whatever forums. I can never remember the name of it. Doesn't really matter. The point is that there's third-party firmware you can put on this that actually corrects the behavior of these eye trackers. I think that's very cool. I think it's, again, an irritating case of developers being fuck-ups and the users having to fix their shit, which shouldn't happen, but it does happen. And let's be honest, Pimax is what it is, right? It's enthusiast level, and you have enthusiast level fucking problems with them, right? They're my favorite headsets, but I'm a nerd who doesn't mind flashing weird random firmwares onto her shit. Most people do. But on the other hand, I'll cover it, and I'll talk about the capabilities of this device when it's upgraded, and hopefully I have good stuff to say. Yeah, that sounds quite interesting to me. Eye tracking is really a next-gen feature, right? We've got some present stuff. Like I said, Pimax has had this for a while, but they fucked it up initially. We'll see. And of course, there's the Reverb G2 Omnicept, which costs twice as much. And because it's a WMR headset, the eye tracking just really doesn't help. The program has to support it directly with things like the Pi tool and Arrow, which have their own custom interfaces. They don't require that. So that's practical. I know on the Arrow, the eye tracking is very good. Even though I really don't dig the Arrow a whole lot, especially for its price tag. Nonetheless, the eye tracking they nailed. And I want to see if I can get something that I feel has been correctly done with that third-party firmware. I will be covering that. And I'll also take a quick look into VRchat and see how it works in there and stuff like that. So that'll be neat. Yeah, maybe a bit of a niche thing, but I'm going to cover it. Okay, and now that I've been speaking for a really long time, I'm actually going to cover what this video is actually about. That's why there's timestamps in the description so you can skip my babble. Yeah, okay. That is Kinect full body tracking. I have a Kinect 360 that I purchased locally for 25 Canadian dollarettes. Yeah, it came with everything I needed. Some people might need some kind of USB adapter or some shit like that. Easily gotten off of Amazon. So I'm going to quickly go over there. I'm going to say a couple things first about the Kinect full body tracking. It works okay. Yeah. For $25, it works very well. If you can get it even cheaper, yeah, go for it. Full body tracking is not super useful feature yet, though, is it? Like, it's really only used with VRchat, of course, where it's most useful, if you're into VRchat, and Blade and Sorcery, where you can use it to deliver a swift kick in the nards to some misbehaving miscreant. And that's pretty fun. I've tested that out, and you can use it to stomp on people's heads. That's satisfying. So I'll show you a little bit how that works. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's issues with it. It's definitely nowhere near as good as actual full body tracking. Well, I mean, it is actual full body tracking, right? It is. But it's not the same as having trackers. It's certainly not as good as Vive trackers or Tundra trackers, if you can get them. Or, I anything like a Slime VR or that new Japanese one that, none of that's in stock anyway, so it may as well not all fucking exist. You're paying like at $800 for trackers. Really, just for VRchat? I feels like, wow, dude, you must really love VRchat. And I do love VRchat. But holy shit, that's such a lot of money just so you can dance around. I don't want to pay it. So the limitation with these is you have to face the camera. Well, that's annoying, but is it a problem you're willing to spend hundreds of dollars to fix? I gotta tell you, I'm thinking I have Slime VRs on order. If they would ever ship, right? I mean, delays after delays with those things. That's so disappointing because they're missing their sweet spot. On the other hand, I'm still not hearing anything much better. In the meantime, I have this. So, yeah, we'll see. There are, of course, limitations outside of the fact that you have to face the camera. Really not the worst thing in the world anyway, you know. But, for example, you have to wear like pants. I rarely actually wear pants. I do at work, obviously, because I'm not going to go prancing about the yard in a nice skirt, am I? Fuck no. Get caught in some machinery and I'll get ripped in half. Hard pass on that. Although when I go to work right in the morning, I do think about it every time. Yeah. Okay. Enough bitching about work. Just trust me, fellas. It's been awful. Oh boy. Yeah, and then the tracking speed is not amazing. Like you couldn't do dance moves. I know a lot of people like doing that. I can do like a little two-step shuffle, right? And that's, I'm being honest, kind of the limit of my ability to dance in the first place. Yeah, so it's okay. But you definitely notice that the tracking speed isn't amazing. It is good enough, right? It's good enough. So that's kind of what you're getting. I'm going to show it to you. I'm using K2EX or Kinect to VR. I did test out Driver for VR for it. It has some advantages, but overall I'd say the tracking and speed of the tracking is better with the free K2EX. So don't feel necessary to buy Driver for VR. It is easy to set up. It is straightforward. That part's easy. I'm not even going to show you how to do that because frankly, you won't have problems with it. If you've managed to set up a VR headset, then this part will not be complicated to you. You'll be fine. Yeah. The real biggest issue is where to place the damn thing, right? Because this was originally meant to be placed like near a TV or something. Well, obviously we don't have that. So I have mine set up on a tower of boxes on my desk. It's pretty awful. I'm not going to show you what it looks like. That'd be embarrassing. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's see some examples. I go into VRchat and then I go into Blade and Sorcery. Cool. Here we are. Just something basic. You've all seen this in VRchat, I'm pretty sure. So, I guess the point is, how well does this work? Well, woo! Back off, get your own sandwich. So yeah, this is okay. I mean, there's limitations, right? As you turn around, um, it's not terrible, but it does sort of lose track of your legs. But it's not as bad as you'd think. But yeah, there are limitations. You'll see some weirdness as you turn away from the camera. Being at a minor angle like this doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, it still seems to track okay. It doesn't do an amazing job. But on the other hand, it's pretty cheap. So that's not too bad. And like I said, you can throw a kick and it works. And you can sort of dance around. Da, da, da. Which is fun to do in VRchat, right? So yeah, I think it gives you, a decent amount of presence that you kind of wouldn't get otherwise. It's, like I said, it's easy to set up. You configure normally. Yeah, it's pretty good. You couldn't do, like, its tracking isn't super fast. There's a little delay. It's not terrible though. You know, just to sort of give you, if you're sitting down, it is fine. I have tested that. It worked just fine. If I wheel my chair over, that's pretty cool. This works okay in VRchat. Yeah, so there you have it. Now, again, there are limitations. So if I turn around, it gets pretty confused. You know, not stupendously, but it kind of doesn't know what to do with your feet. So, hey, there's that limitation. But again, this is like cheap as shit, right? The software is free, and all you have to kind of do is find a Kinect 360. Other Kinects do work, but they don't work as well for whatever reason. I don't know. They just, either better hardware, no question, but everyone seems to say the 360 works the best for PC VR full body tracking. I don't know why, that makes no sense to me, but that's the way it is. So, hey, whatever. Anyway, that's this. I would, you know, like within its limitations, I think this works pretty well. And if you're looking for something to tide you over till reasonable full body tracking becomes available, given how little actual use there is for it outside of VRchat and screwing around occasionally in Blade and Sorcery, which I'm also going to show you guys real quick. Yeah. Here's a couple limitations though. Again, if you're one of the lovelies or a Scotsman, you probably shouldn't wear a skirt. Right? Personally, I only really like wearing pants when I'm at work or something where I'm going to be doing, you know, that sort of physical activities. Generally not my style, but if I'm doing full body tracking, I gotta find something. Usually I just wear my PJs. Alright, there's a couple ways you can screw it up. Crossing your legs. Okay, what? Now it's working. But it does like to... my leg! Okay, but yeah, you can see that as you cross your legs and that sort of thing, it screws up. You know, it's not perfect. It's good for what you paid for it, though, right? You know, so I think that's... Hey, it's an option. I think it's neat. You know, just to sort of get you by. I say this is actually pretty damn good. You know, it's... Yeah, and you can, you know, wander around in your area, do things, kicking around. It doesn't do a great job, but it doesn't, you know, it's all right. I like it. I think it's fun, and for the price, I think it's actually not bad. You have to say for the price. Now, if you have the money for full body trackers, are they better? You bet your sweet ass they are. They are way better. But they also cost a little bit, teensy bit more than $25 fucking dollars. And that was in worthless Canadian money. You know? So that's probably like a few pennies in USD. So there you have it. Right, let's go check out Blade and Sorcery. Okay, so Blade and Sorcery. Actually getting the things calibrated is a bit of a pain in the butt. I found the secret is to just like, whatever, turn on the trackers, keep going. And then it was okay. When I actually tried to do some kind of calibration, it just kind of fucked up. So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, so I'd say for Blade and Sorcery, just leave the smoothing off. The developers recommend some other settings. No. Although I don't get too much jitter. So anyway, let's go kick a guy. Yeah. But you know what's going to be great, guys, lads, lovelies, all yous in between? You know what's going to be friggin' awesome? When we have somewhere else to go other than this weird island. So, looking around, I'm not sure what's going to show up, but she's moving around roughly correct. Good. Alright. How about that guy? Hello, sir. Huh? Dude. Yeah, there you go. Ah, fuck, this game is awful. Yeah. Hey. Here. Okay. Here. Off the edge. Oh, that looked... Oh no, he's drowning. Oh, whatever. Just a little. There we go, huh? Yeah. Whoa! Does anyone know what happened there? I just pinched his sword. Here, have it back. And then, yeah. That glitched a little bit. Okay. Holy shit, that guy won't be in part 2. Hey, get down. Come on. Go. Yeah. Do you sense danger? Huh? Yeah, right in there. What are you gonna do? Yeah, well, what's this? Huh? What's the point? What's going on? Oh, yeah, you suck. Yeah, you have a shitty weapon instead of a cool rapier. Alright, well. Huh? I'll kick you in the shin. What do you think of that? Huh? What's up? What's up? There, trip you. I'm gonna stomp on your nuts. And then kick you in the head. Yeah. Yeah. Good shot a little bit there. There you go. Yeah. It's better than having stomped nuts, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Nobody wants to have stomped nuts. No, they don't. I should edit that out. That is psychopathic behavior. So it works, and it's fun, but sure makes the game a lot easier. Huh? 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 What's up? Oh, too slow. You're dying from a nut stomp. Archers get nut stomped. Come here. Here, no. Here. Ah. Okay, that's Kinect 360 body tracking. Oh, I really wish I remembered to turn on my fan. I'm so hot. But, it works. It's a little janky, but it works. And, it's fun. It sure is a heck of a lot easier. I mean, you can just, like, trip up an opponent pretty much effortlessly. I'll say that. It'd be even easier with good tracking. I say it's fun to play around with. So, yeah, that is the Kinect 360 full body tracking. It is what it is. Keeping cheerful. I wasn't going to comment on this, but I think I probably should. I am a trucker, and all people who drive a truck are brothers and sisters of mine. People who've never experienced that life will never know just how fucking shitty that job is. Okay? That is the worst job. The pay sucks. It's lonely. You're away from home weeks at a time. You shower at truck stops. It's disgusting. And those guys do it. It has one of the highest on-the-job fatality rates. It is a terrible job. So, whatever the sex, race, creed, anyone who drives one of those fucking trucks is a brother and sister to me. And that's it. Full stop. So I always support my brother and sister truckers. That's it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. They've certainly made my job fucking hell, but I support them.